Hey, welcome back to the Uncomfortable is Okay show. I'm your host Chris Desmond, and this is a place where we make you better at doing hard stuff through getting out of your comfort zone. Strategy Friday again, and today I'm going to be talking about discomfort surfing. So what is it? Discomfort surfing is visualizing that the uncomfortable sensations that you're feeling are a wave and that you get to surf along with them. So rather than trying to fight the emotions and getting pounded underneath them, you feel them and experience the rush that they give you, because excitement and anxiety have the same physical response in the body. And with this rush, you surf along with these feelings until they inevitably wash out, lapping gently on the beach or on the edges of your brain or your soul, or however you want to think about it. So where do I apply this strategy? The strategy works really well in the moment. Use it to get through discomfort in the short term. And it's best to apply the strategy when you start to notice uncomfortable feelings building up like a wave in yourself. If you can catch this emotional wave early, then it can be a really fun ride and actually leave you feeling quite energized afterwards and ready to take action. It's not the best strategy to use when you need something to get you over a hump to perform an awkward task, is that discomfort often won't be dealt with until you've done what you needed to do. Instead, you can use it well when your discomfort is trying to steer you towards doing something unproductive to distract yourself. So the strategy in action. I used this strategy when I gave up drinking a couple of years ago. And actually the reason that I decided to put out this episode now is it's been about 2 years since I last had a drink. So that's exciting times. But initially when I stopped, my body and my subconscious would crave a beer at times. I trained my body to be used to having a drink in certain situations or in response to certain feelings. And I needed to retrain that, and that was going to be intermittently uncomfortable for myself. So the urge to drink would start in response to a trigger. So a Friday after work, a sunny summer evening, or after something uncomfortable had happened. I could feel it building up like a wave, and I pictured myself surfing along with this wave as the emotion built up. The times I did things were actually really energizing. I got to enjoy the physical sensation associated with riding along with this emotion. The body was feeling primed and ready to go. And thankfully I knew that it was an emotion that was going to pass for me, just like every other emotion. I could focus on riding this emotion or this urge through the swell, watch it go up, and then watch it taper off and crash down after it had reached its peak. And trying to fight this urge was at times successful, but afterwards would leave me feeling really, really drained. However, riding it like a wave often left me really excited and with more energy afterwards. And 2 years down the track, I very rarely get the urge to have a beer anymore. But I still get to utilize the strategies when I have an uncomfortable urge to run away from something that I know is going to be good for me. So why does this work? Every feeling that we have is transient. They come, they go. It doesn't matter if it's fear, if it's anger, if it's sadness, if it's happiness. We have them and then they pass to be replaced by another feeling. And if we can view this feeling of discomfort as a wave, it reminds us that we can go along with the feeling and embrace the ride and let it wash around us, rather than if we try and fight the feelings, that tends to be when we get buffeted about and beaten down. Viewing the feeling as a wave also gives us some emotional distance from it. The feeling seems more of something that is happening to us or around us, rather than something that's part of us internally and something that defines us. So not wrapping ourselves up in this, or wrapping this feeling up within the sense of identity, also influences how long it hangs around for. The less we identify this feeling as part of ourselves, the shorter it usually stays about. And we can even swing it into a positive experience for ourselves. As I mentioned before, anxiety and excitement create the same physical response in our bodies. So focusing on this as a wave can reframe our interpretation of that excitement. I've had times using this strategy, I've popped out the end of it feeling absolutely buzzing and ready to go, having gone into it feeling really super anxious and super worried. So it's a great strategy for flipping that feeling of anxiety to a feeling of excitement. I'd love to hear how you guys go using this strategy in your own life. As you know, I'm writing a book in regards to some of the best strategies that I've found from interviewing over 130 different people. This is just one of them. There are going to be, I don't know how many of these are going to be at the end, 30, 40, 50 maybe, plus some other stuff tying it back into comfort zones. If you want to jump on board and grab a copy of that, or get notified when the book's coming out and sort of how it's all coming along, keep up to date with where it's at, head over to getoutofmycomfortzone.com. You can sign up for notifications. We'll let you know when the book comes out. We will hook you up with a good deal on the first books that do come out, and I'll send you through a couple of draft chapters as well of some strategies that you can go about applying right now. Thank you so much for getting uncomfortable with me today.